Hi everybody, April here with Second Star Journal. Welcome to Project Life Week 12. This week was such a busy week for me and I can't wait to go ahead and explain it all to you guys. But I am just going to kind of go over what I picked out for this week. I wanted to stick with kind of the blue and grays because I wanted to match that Unexpected Kindness card that is in the bottom right hand corner, which I will explain shortly, but I did stick mainly with my Elle Studio kits and labels and die cuts. So the first card I'm going to work on is my title card, and I am using a piece of paper from Elle Studios, I think it's XOXO collection, that I cut down into a 6x4 size, and then I'm going to use those labels and stack them to kind of stamp out the week number, and then the date stamps. So I go ahead and move everything out of the way and grab my, I call it my stamping pad, but it's actually just a mouse pad, and I grab my Citrus Twist Weekish stamp set because I do like how they have different sizes. And I go ahead and stamp out the word week on the label, and I stamp it towards the top of the label knowing that I want to have enough room to stack them. Once that is stamped on that label, I go ahead and put that label to the side, kind of rearrange it with the gray label so I can make sure that I know where I'm going to stamp out my numbers. Now for the numbers this week, I am using Elle Studios monthly and daily tab stamp set to stamp out the numbers, and I am trying to line them up together to see how it's going to fit in that kind of left side of that gray label, and I am trying to make it so that I can stamp them at the same time so it's kind of even, and I'm just having a little bit of trouble getting it to line up, so I just arrange it on my stamp block and then stamp it out, and I like the way that it looks, so I go ahead and stamp that on that gray label to the left side of it. Now there is a lot of blank space in that label and I didn't want to leave it blank, so I went ahead and grabbed my Citrus Twist Weekish stamp set, and there are a couple of phrases that you can kind of combine on this. So I grabbed two stamps that says, together it will say what a week, and I'm trying to do the same thing like I did with the numbers where I'm lining them up so I can just stamp them together and make sure that it's even. But when I went ahead and tested it out on my blank piece of paper, I thought it was a little too far spaced, so I go ahead and just take it off and stamp it one at a time. Once those are both stamped where I want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Heidi Swap roller date stamp and that pale blue label and go ahead and stamp the dates on that. While I finish up the title card, I'll go ahead and explain to you how my week was this week. Last weekend, I think last Sunday, I ended up getting a happy mail from Germany. It was from Janine, which is that Unexpected Kindness. She went through her stamps and kind of purged and went through ones that she wasn't going to use and did a giveaway on Instagram, and I ended up winning it. And so I finally was able to get that last weekend, and it was so amazing. There are so many stamps in there I can't even begin to explain. And then each weekend, my husband and I have been slowly getting the patio kind of getting ready for the warmer weather. So I took a quick picture of what we had done last weekend. And then the biggest thing that happened this week is we got our new stove delivered. So it was nice to see the old stove out and the new stove in. And it's so nice of a stove. I'm so excited to use it. So as you can see, I kind of stacked them where I wanted to go on those labels, and then I just kind of sticking them down. And I really like how this came out this week. So the next card I'm going to work on is that photo from my patio, and I am going to go ahead and grab that plaid journaling card, and I'm going to grab my Martha Stewart craft knife. It's kind of like a swivel knife, and I am going to cut out that white part of that journaling card to kind of make it a little frame. Now unfortunately the battery in my camera died, so it does go ahead and jump ahead to the part where it's actually cut out. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a spare piece of paper to use kind of as a backup so I can put some tape down on my frame, and then I'm going to just place that over my 3x4 photo of my patio set and just kind of trim around because the picture was a little bit bigger than a 3x4, so I'm just going to trim around and then call that card good. So the next journaling card I'm going to work on is a picture of my old stove, and it has that white spot at the bottom. So I'm grabbing my Elle Studio Hazel alphabet stamps, and I'm just trying to see if what I want to stamp out is going to fit here. And I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead, but what I ended up doing is stamping out with the old and then sticking that picture down above it. The next photo I'm going to work on is a photo of my new stove, and I tried to match the journaling cards where it's the gray hearts with the white space at the bottom, and my new one is going to go on the blue hearts with the white space at the bottom. And I'm going to jump ahead again, but I am going to stamp out in with the new. And then just going to stick that photo down on this card and call this card good as well. So the next card I'm going to work on is the actual journaling card, which it has spaces for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I'm just going to kind of journal ahead. I will skip ahead a little bit, but basically it was such a kind of a busy week where I believe Sunday I got the happy mail and we worked on the porch. Monday we cleaned behind the stove and kind of rearranged the old stove to get ready, because Tuesday the appliance guy came out, disconnected our stove because it is gas, and capped it off. Wednesday we got the new stove delivered and we got internet upgraded. Then Thursday the appliance guy came back and connected and converted our new stove. And then Friday my mom came over to see the new stove. And then yesterday we surprised my youngest with a upgrade for her phone. So it was a very busy week and I really wanted to journal about it all. So I did go ahead and use this journaling card to use that opportunity to write it all down. So the last card I'm going to work on is this an unexpected kindness card that I was telling you guys about earlier. And I am going to try to do something different. And here is a black and white photo of all the stamps. Not the best photo, but you can see that it's kind of piled on top of each other. So what I want to do is kind of have that be behind that card that she gave me, and you can be able to pull it up. So I go ahead and grab my tag die cut, and I'm just cutting the picture down because it was a little bit bigger than the plates for my sidekick. And I'm going to go ahead and place that over the photo and kind of cut it out. Now, the idea that I want with that little piece of paper is I want it to pull it up, but I want it to stop. I don't want you to be able to pull it all the way out. But just in case I can't make it work, what I'm going to do is use that cloud as the back paper, just in case I can't. I have a hard time leaving the back sides blank, so I'm going to put that on it just in case I can't do what my original thought was. Once those are both cut out, I'm kind of just playing around with where I want it to be. Now, I didn't do it in the video, but you will see it at the end. I am going to cut the pocket as well, but once I have where I want it to be, I grab my craft knife on that journaling card and I cut out a little space, but it's not big enough, so I just kind of make it a little bit bigger. And then this is where I'm going to kind of play around with how I want it to come out. So as I said before, the idea is that I wanted to be able to pull it up like that, but I didn't want to be able to pull it all the way out. So I'm going to use this little folded accordion style piece of paper, and I'm going to stick it between the two tags. And again, the whole idea of that cloud background was in case this didn't work, I would be able to have something on the back of that. So I'm going to stick it in between those two pieces of paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it back into my journaling card and pull it up to as far as I want it to go. And I'm just playing around to see if it's going to work the way I want it to. So I'm just trying to fold the paper again, and I'm just kind of playing around to make sure the whole idea of how I want it to work is going to work. And then I noticed I had something on the picture, so I could just kind of wipe it off. And then here I am just trying to kind of also get the paper a little bit more flexible. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick down that little tab on the height that I want it to go. And then here I'll go ahead and flip it over and show you how it pulls out and it stops it and it goes back in. So the next thing I want to do for that little tag is grab some twine and kind of tie that through. Now it is a smaller hole, so I was having a little bit of trouble getting this to kind of match up, but I just go ahead and tie it in a knot and then just cut off the extra and move on to my die cuts. So the first die cut that I am going to stick down was that blue die cut that says "This was amazing," and I am actually going to put that on my photo tag at the top part in the blank spot. And after I stick it down, you go ahead and see me kind of lift it up to show what it's going to do when it's in the pocket. And I did kind of have to fix the back, but I'm hoping that once it's in the pocket, it's actually going to be able to kind of lay a little bit flatter. And then once I'm done with that, I go ahead and stick down that favorite die cut on the bottom part of that card. And then I'm going to move on to the photo of my new stove. I'm going to stick down the Hello Fresh Start because I cannot wait to use this stove in the top left-hand corner. So the last thing I want to do for this spread is add some more embellishments, and I want to add a little bit of color just because I feel like it's a little dark right now. So I'm going through my puffy stickers and my alpha phrases, and I have those Elle Studios arrow labels, and there was a yellow label pointing down, so I thought it would be perfect for the photo of the patio set. And I'm just kind of seeing if there's a word phrase that fits in between it, and I find this word phrase on the Felicity Jane Shea word phrase stickers that says happy place. So I go ahead and stick down the label with the arrow pointing down, and then I stick down that happy place inside of that label, and then call this journaling card done. And I love the way that the color kind of makes it pop. So the last thing that I go through is my chipboard and puffy sticker. I go ahead and grab my icon chipboard pieces, and I find that there's a yellow arrow. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that because I want to put it on the right side of the spread to kind of give a little bit of color on that side as well. And I'm just kind of trying to play around with where I want it to go, and then end up pointing it at the new stove. And then I go ahead and grab my puffy heart stickers, which I have been dying to use, guys, and I'm so excited that I was able to use it this week, and grab a yellow heart and stick it above the word week. And then lastly, I go ahead and in my Elle Studio Cozy Chipboard pieces, there is a blue heart circle that I go ahead and stick on that kindness card, and then I call this spread done. Thank you everybody for watching this week. If you like this week's video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.